So everybody, we're going back to kind of the old videos and stuff with this one, and I kind of hope that this finds you in good faith. I forgot to say in the video, this is why this is here now. I'm filming this after I filmed the video, so if you guys haven't already, like and subscribe, obviously. And if you guys get the chance, share the video out to someone you know who's struggling with depression and might find this video helpful. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to change the world a little bit by little bit, and this is the way I think is best for me to do it. If you guys have ideas for me to do other ways and stuff like that, let me know. But I hope this finds you guys in good faith and that you guys are doing well. And I'll see you guys in the video. Peace. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Milkman, and I hope this finds you in good health and that you are not going through what the title of this video is. But if you've clicked on it because you are going through it, I just kind of have, my 2 cents on it and kind of what I've learned from the interviews I've done on my channel with people about mental health and stuff like that and depression in general. One thing I can say from experience is that it's definitely not easy, and I don't want you guys to think of it as a chronic problem. I think a lot of today's society likes to point towards mental health stuff as kind of like a chronic problem we can't figure out or that we can't work to get better at dealing with on our own. And I think a lot of stuff points towards kind of making you think like you being on your own is bad and that you have to be around people to solve your problems with depression, or you have to do certain things. And obviously I'm not a licensed professional or anything like that, so don't take anything I say incredibly to heart, because I obviously am not a psychologist. If you guys need to, this is the suicide hotline and stuff like that. I'll put it in the video, obviously, but I think for me, I just kind of wanted to reach out to you guys and kind of give you my 2 cents on it. I think it's one of those things that our society, like I said, is kind of pushed off to the side a little bit. Whether you're a guy or a girl, I think I just know more guys because I am a guy and I talk to my buddies more about it than I do girls, because it's not really my place to like intrude on like women's conversations and stuff like that, if that makes sense. Like I don't ever find the right opportunities really without it seeming kind of odd. I say that, but most of my interviews actually are, I think all my interviews have been done with women, because guys are a little bit more closed off when it comes to mental health. I think a lot of men struggle with a lot of things, especially with just like living up to certain standards. And I think that our lives are very complicated, and me telling you what's best and what's not is not necessarily the best idea, because I don't know how complicated you guys' lives are, and I can only really talk from experience and how it was for me. I know when it came to kind of just like my past and stuff, a lot of my I don't even know if I would necessarily say depression, but like definitely like getting to that. I don't really know how serious things have to be for it to be counted as depression. But if we want to say depression came from just kind of like the past of like my medical problems, and then later on in life, just like girl problems. Obviously, a lot of you guys know, but I had cancer when I was 4, turning 5 in a week is when I actually got it. And it was at the time it wasn't that big a deal, or like at the time it was a big deal, but to me as a 5-year-old, I didn't really understand what was going on. And looking back on it now, it's kind of evident how serious it was. I think I don't know many people who have had cancer when it comes to the amount of people I've met, and I think it's one of those things that I kind of never really fully. I think I kind of took it for granted because of how not serious I took it, I guess. I think a lot of people kind of, just like there's certain things you don't grasp as a child, and when you get older, you understand them. And I think that was one of them for me. One thing that I've struggled with a lot is just like sharing my experience with people. A lot of people will ask me and be like, that's crazy. Like, I hope you're doing all right. And obviously, like, I appreciate that a lot and stuff like that. But it goes a lot deeper than that. I had a lot of friends that were going through chemo at the same time as me, and when I found out like they had passed away and like they were passing away and stuff like that, it was definitely difficult for me to understand. And it just kind of blew my mind how many people passed away, and like how deadly like childhood cancer really was 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago now. So it's just always been something that stuck with me, and like I think that has always been a nagging thought in the back of my head, is just kind of the idea of they didn't get to live lives like my buddies that were 5 years old who died at 5 and 6, 7, 8, 4, 3, 2, 1, like however old they were. I think it's always been in the back of my mind that they didn't really get to live out their dreams and like see a ton of the world. I know a lot of the stuff I went through. Like I had a lot of chemo, and like I got to do a lot of cool things as a child, from being with professional sport teams and stuff like that. For the reason of they didn't think I was going to live, so they're like kind of trying to, give me these cool experiences, and I just like obviously, luckily, with like good doctors and stuff like that, did make it through it. But it's always been something that's kind of stuck with me, is just the idea of the amount of things that I get to experience, and though they don't, that my friends don't, and it's kind of something that I think pushes me and kind of holds me back. I get really worried with a lot of things and get not necessarily anxiety, but just like very sad at times, knowing that there's nothing that can be done, knowing that 15 years ago, or I'm 22, so 17 years ago, there was really just nothing that could have been done. And knowing now that I've lived so much and had like trivial problems that mean nothing, and any of them would love to have if they could be alive. I think it's something that is just always stuck with me, and I don't really get sad talking about it. So if you guys are ever interested, like, I'm definitely down to talk about it. I'm a little tired right now. It's 1 a.m, so I'm a little tired, but it's just kind of something that's always been in the back of my mind, and I feel like a lot of people don't really understand about me or know. It's just like the level of difficulty it kind of brings me. There's a few people who know, but the grand scheme, I just don't talk about it too terribly much, because it's just something that I deal with. Like, I don't really think I need to talk to people about it. That's kind of what I've gathered from the interviews and stuff I've done so far, as well as just like the amount of people who don't think they need to share their stories, because it's just something they deal with, and they kind of like, get caught in a routine of dealing with it, rather than like actually figuring it out, kind of pushing it off to the side, not tackling like the actual problem, whether it's scary, whether it's causes them anxiety. And I think that's something that a lot of us can relate to in general. And I know this might, kind of get swept away in the grand scheme of YouTube and the algorithm and stuff like that, because I don't post on YouTube a lot. But I just want you guys to know that there's plenty of people out there who care. There's plenty of people in different, services that, if that's the best way for you to deal with stuff, that can help you. I know I have family members and people I'm close with who have struggled deeply with it. And some of them would say that, professional help was good, and some would say that it's not. I would say you have to try it to know it's not. I know a lot of people who say it's not. They go and they're like, oh yeah, that was actually like pretty like decently helpful. Maybe like not life-changing, but definitely a different perspective on it. And I think that's something that you might need, is a professional perspective. And I know for me, I'm not a professional at all. I'm just a random kid on YouTube trying to make it on YouTube, talking about mental health, which is not something that a lot of people like people talking about. So I just want you guys to know that there's people out there who do care about you. I care about you guys quite a bit. You guys are almost like family to me. I feel like you guys have been around for not so long, but have been around for a long time now. And a lot of you guys who are here from the beginning kind of know that this is what I was doing when I first started, and I kind of got away from it. And it's sad to see, obviously, because it felt like I was really changing a small bit of the world with each person that saw my videos, whether it was I ran into people in real life and they would, say something to me and be like, oh dude, I love that video, or anything like that. So I just want you guys to know that, again, there's plenty of people out there who do care about you, and it's not who you are. I think a lot of people kind of get stuck in this idea of like, when they have depression, they just get told they have it, and there's nothing you can really do. They get told they can't do anything about it, and that you just have to deal with it as a person, and like it won't get better really. It'll just kind of be the same. You can take pills to help it and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I do think that there are plenty of things you can do, from working out to reading to watching listening to podcasts, watching, doing things you love, and just like anything like that. I feel like is just a great way to get you out of a dark state. I think that our lives are very complicated, like I said before, and that we just kind of get stuck thinking that we can't do anything about certain aspects of ourselves, when in reality there's plenty of ways to, go and find a new experience that you enjoy quite a bit, find something that can change your life. And I think we just have to constantly be looking for those when we're in those states of sadness and depression. I think it's easy for us to kind of just think that there's nothing for us to be done, nothing to be done. But I think that you guys, if you guys watch my videos often, understand that I push the idea of just trying something in order to see if it piques your interest. because at the end of the day, like, that's such a fun thing to do, is just to try something new. And if you like mess up, like, it is what it is. Just understanding that it's part of the progress that comes with anything you do is failing at first. So I just want you guys to know, again, just that there are people out there who care about you. You're not alone. There's so many people out there who struggle with the same thing that you do, or something similar at least. And it's not a competition. I know I've talked to people in my interviews about that, and they say sometimes it feels like it's a competition between people when it comes to like how depressed they are, or like how much trauma they have. And I think that's something that is not good. I think we all have our own stuff, and that we all could use a little pick me up every once in a while. So I hope this is that pick me up for you guys. Just letting you guys know, obviously I know I don't know a ton of people who went through chemotherapy, but I still understand the aspects of depression and how tough it can be at times. So I just want you guys to know that that's kind of the goal of these videos, is to open myself up to you guys and allow you guys to be open with me if you want to be. So I appreciate you guys' time. A short little video here, but I appreciate you guys. I think that's about it. Spread the love, spread joy. I'll see you guys later. Peace.